अरे नहीं नहीं, इस बार डाकिया डाक के साथ बैंक भी लाया। अब आप सोचेंगे कि कैसे हो सकता है, पर चाचा जी अब नहीं तो कब है। शहर शहर तो सब कुछ आसानी से मिल जाता, पर ये गांव का लोग कब तक राह तकता रहेगा कि कब बैंक गांव में आएगा, कब हमारा खाता खुलेगा और कब हमारी भी जेब में होगा बैंक। तो लो, भारतीय डाक आपके दरवाजे तक बैंक लेकर आ गई है, भारतीय डाक की आईपीपीबी के साथ।
इंडिया पोस्ट पेमेंट्स बैंक, आपका बैंक आपके द्वार।
डाकिया बैंक लाया, बैंक लाया, डाकिया बैंक लाया, ओ डाकिया बैंक लाया, बैंक लाया, डाकिया बैंक लाया। गांव गांव तक डिजिटल इंडिया का पैगाम लाया।
देश के ग्रामीण इलाकों में बैंक है 49,000 और पोस्ट ऑफिस है 1,30,000। मतलब कि बैंक के नेटवर्क से 2.5 गुना बड़ा नेटवर्क। और डाकिये और ग्रामीण डाक सेवक हैं देश में 3 लाख। मतलब कि अगर ये सब ठान लें तो इंडिया को कैशलेस बनने से कोई रोक नहीं सकता है। भाई मोदी जी का भरोसा है, किसी भी हालत में निभाना जो है।
सिर्फ आपका अंगूठा काफी है। कोई कल्पना कर सकता है, एक जमाना था अनपढ़ को अंगूठा छाप कहा जाता था। वक्त बदल चुका है। अंगूठा आप ही का अंगूठा आपकी बैंक, आप ही का अंगूठा आपकी पहचान, आप ही का अंगूठा आपका कारोबार।
डाकिया बैंक लाया, बैंक लाया, डाकिया बैंक लाया, बैंक लाया। इंदर की भोले की चमेली की बारी है, सबका खुले खाता ये मेरी जिम्मेदारी है। सेविंग करंट बोलो ये किसकी क्या तैयारी है, आधार को भूलना नहीं इससे रखनी यारी है। बिल जमा करवा दो चाहे पैसे घर भिजवा दो, घर बैठे बैठे ही तुम बैंक को बुलवा दो। छोटे तुम बड़े हो जाओ करो इंतजार, छोड़ो मजबूरी भैया ले लो लोन ए बार। फोन में तेरे ये सब कुछ है, सोमनाथ लाया, डाकिया बैंक लाया, डाकिया बैंक लाया, डाकिया बैंक।
ये सब डाकिये पूरी तैयारी के साथ आ रहे हैं, फाइनेंशियल उत्पाद और सेवाओं की ट्रेनिंग लेकर, स्मार्टफोन और बायोमेट्रिक डिवाइस लेकर, मतलब कि चलता फिरता बैंक लेकर। जरिए ढेर सारे ढूंढ निकाले हैं, काउंटर सर्विसेज, मर्चेंट बैंकिंग, मोबाइल बैंकिंग ऐप, एसएमएस और आईवीआर। पर जो अब तक बैंकिंग सेवाओं से वंचित रह गए, उन तक अब बैंकिंग सुविधाएं पहुंचानी है। बस भारतीय डाक मतलब इस देश का सबसे पुराना पोस्ट, और आप इसके जरिए करते हैं हजारों लाखों लोगों तक खुशियों की डिलीवरी। देश को भी है आपकी खुशियों का ख्याल, इसीलिए तो मोदी जी ने दी है एक भेंट, लाखों डाकियों की तनख्वाह में करके अभूतपूर्व बढ़ोतरी। तो अब से देश के 2.6 लाख ग्रामीण डाक सेवक वो अब बनेंगे आईपीपीबी के सलाहकार भी, और उनके भत्ते में होगी पूरे 55% की बढ़ोतरी। है ना खुशखबरी? तो अब से वो ग्रामीण डाक सेवक जिन्हें मिलते थे सिर्फ 2,295 रुपए, उन्हें अब मिल रहे हैं पूरे 10,000।
अरे भैया मैंने तो ये सोचा ही नहीं। रुको, अब की बार माँ के बनाए लड्डू लेकर आऊंगा मुंह मीठा करवाने के लिए। और हाँ, अपना आधार कार्ड जरूर निकाल कर रखना। आईपीपीबी में आपका खाता खुलवाना है कि नहीं? जय हिंद।
डाकिया बैंक लाया, डाकिया बैंक लाया, डाकिया बैंक लाया। गांव गांव तक डिजिटल इंडिया का पैगाम लाया। पिछड़े हुए हम सब तक सबका विकास लाया। डाकिया बैंक लाया, डाकिया बैंक लाया, डाकिया बैंक लाया, बैंक लाया।
इंडिया पोस्ट पेमेंट्स बैंक, आपका बैंक आपके द्वार।
बैंक लाया।
The largest postal network in the world, India Post, is spread across India's length and breadth with over 1,54,500 post offices and over 300,000 postal employees. From sending letters, postal services, money transfers to financial services, it also established a banking arm under the Indian Post Payments Bank, or commonly known as IPPB, in January 2017. IPPB leverages the network and infrastructure of the Postal Department to provide banking services in every nook and corner of India. From the withdrawal of money at the doorstep to cross-selling of other financial products, it's an example of how financial services can be deployed even in the remotest corners of India. Here's a story on how postal employees and customers share their experience.
I am Harish L, postman, Yeshwantpur Post Office. I am working in past 18 years. 2018 onwards, I will do it IPPB, account opening, AEPS transaction, Aadhaar payment enabled system, and also post office other products. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಡೋರ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನಿಷಿಯಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ AEPS transaction, monthly only 60 transaction we have done, 3 lakh, 4 lakh we are given. Afterwards, they are giving more transaction. Now 300, 8 lakh, 10 lakh, like that we are giving AEPS money. ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ನ ವಿಡ್ರಾ ಕೊಡೋದೇ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನೇ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ RD ಮಂತ್ರ, ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಂತ್ರ ವಿತ್ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಾವು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದು ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
My name is Nikita. I'm 16 years old. I'm studying first PUC right now. So through the government, the IBBP bank introduced us to make a bank account in this.
For how long you have been using it?
Almost for 5 years I'm using this bank. So it is very useful to transact money from this IBBP bank. Based on other banks, we have to go and wait till half an hour, but here it is within 30 seconds I can withdraw the money. So that's good.
How long you have been associated with the postal department and how eventually you came over here?
ಸರ್, ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಪವಿತ್ರ ಬಾಯ್. ನಾನು 8 ವರ್ಷ GDS ಆಗಿ ಅಂಚೆ ಇಲಾಖೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬರೆದು ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಅದು 4 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ವುಮೆನ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
IPPB came in 2018, Post Payment Bank 2018, and now it is 2022. How has your experience been in these 4 years?
ಸರ್, IPBPಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಏಜ್ ಆದವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ತೊಗೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗದೇ ಇರೋರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇರೋ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ತಮ್ಮ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ನಾವು 5 ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಯಶವಂತಪುರ ಕಚೇರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂದರೆ 40ರಿಂದ 45 ಜನ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಆದಾಗ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಫೋನಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನಾವು ಡೋರ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯೀಸ್ಗೂ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ವಿಡ್ರಾ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಸೊ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಫೈರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಇನ್ ಯಶವಂತಪುರ ಫೈರ್ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು. ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೈಮ್ಗೂ ಅಪ್ ಟು 4:15 ತನಕ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿಗೂ ಭಾರಿ ಅನುಕೂಲವಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಉತ್ತಮ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಈ ಮೂಲಕ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
आप सभी अतिथियों से निवेदन है कि कृपया अपने स्थान ग्रहण करें। अनुरोध करना चाहूँगी कि अपने मोबाइल फ़ोन्स को साइलेंट मोड पर कर लें। Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to our esteemed guests for today at the launch of Fincluvation. Please be seated. मैं स्वागत करती हूँ मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर कम्युनिकेशन श्री देवू सिंह चौहान जी का, जो हमारे बीच उपस्थित हुए हैं। हार्दिक अभिनंदन। आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि कृपया अपने स्थानों पर बैठे रहें। हमारे मुख्य अतिथि इस प्रांगण में पधार चुके हैं और कुछ ही समय में दीप प्रज्वलन के साथ हम इस कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करेंगे। तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट के साथ स्वागत करिए हमारे अति विशिष्ट अतिथिगण का। स्वागत है सर। हमारे बीच हैं माननीय अश्विनी वैष्णव जी, मिनिस्टर ऑफ रेलवेज, कम्युनिकेशन एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड आईटी। देवी और सज्जनों, जैसा कि हमारे देश की परंपरा है, किसी भी शुभ कार्य की शुरुआत हमेशा ईश्वर के नाम के साथ होती है। Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin anything auspicious, we seek the blessings of the Almighty. मैं अनुरोध करती हूँ हमारे अति प्रतिष्ठित अतिथिगण से कि वे दीप प्रज्वलन करके आज के कार्यक्रम का औपचारिक रूप से शुभारंभ करें।
सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
आइए चलें हम अंधकार से प्रकाश की ओर, पृथ्वी से आकाश की ओर, पदार्थ से सूक्ष्म की ओर, प्राणी से परमात्मा की ओर, एक प्रयास अज्ञानता से ज्ञान की ओर। As we begin by taking the blessings of the Almighty, let's pray to God that we may continue to burn the auspicious light that shall bring in happiness, prosperity, success, and good health. Let us also pray for the strength to deliver our best to make this launch event of Fincluvation a grand success. हम लाए हैं तूफान से कश्ती निकाल के, इस देश को रखना मेरे बच्चों संभाल के। तुम ही भविष्य हो मेरे भारत विशाल के, इस देश को रखना मेरे बच्चों संभाल के। ये वचन कवि प्रदीप जी के हैं, जो आज भी उतने ही महत्वपूर्ण एवं प्रेरणादायक हैं जितने कि इनके लिखे जाने पर थे। ये शब्द इस उम्मीद से लिखे गए थे कि हमारा आने वाला कल आज से बेहतर हो। India Post Payments Bank, along with Department of Posts, has crafted Fincluvation as a tribute to Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which marks the 75th anniversary of Indian independence. मैं दीक्षा पंडित आज के इस कार्यक्रम की संचालक आप सभी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन करती हूँ। मैं अभिनंदन करती हूँ माननीय श्री अश्विनी वैष्णव जी का, मिनिस्टर ऑफ रेलवेज, कम्युनिकेशंस एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी। स्वागत करती हूँ माननीय मंत्री जी का, श्री देवू सिंह चौहान जी, मिनिस्टर ऑफ स्टेट फॉर कम्युनिकेशंस। स्वागत सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पोस्ट्स एंड चेयरमैन IPB श्री विनीत पांडे जी का, डायरेक्टर जनरल पोस्ट्स माननीय श्री आलोक शर्मा जी का। अभिनंदन करती हूँ MD CEO IPPB श्री वेंकट रामू जी का। विभिन्न मंत्रालयों से पधारे हुए वरिष्ठ अतिथिगण, उपस्थित डाक सेवा बोर्ड सदस्य, IPPB बोर्ड के सदस्य, अनेकों स्टार्टअप से यहाँ पधारे हुए उनके प्रतिनिधि, डाक विभाग व इंडिया पोस्ट पेमेंट्स बैंक के सभी वरिष्ठ अधिकारी, मीडिया से उपस्थित मेरे सभी साथी तथा यहाँ पर उपस्थित सभी का मैं सहृदय अभिनंदन करती हूँ। आपको अवगत कराना चाहूँगी कि आज के इस कार्यक्रम का लाइव YouTube टेलीकास्ट भी किया जा रहा है। इस मंच के माध्यम से हार्दिक अभिनंदन करती हूँ हमारे YouTube दर्शकों का भी। अभिनंदन, अभिनंदन, अभिनंदन। Fincluvation, an initiative by India Post Payments Bank under Department of Posts, focuses to build technology-led, innovative solutions for financial inclusion in collaboration with fintech startups. I request respected Shri Vineet Pandeji, Secretary, Department of Posts and Chairman, IPPB, to please come and deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
सभागृह में उपस्थित एवं डिजिटल मोड से जुड़े हुए आज के सभी अतिथि का एक बार पुनः स्वागत और हार्दिक अभिनंदन। It's my proud privilege to welcome Honorable Cabinet Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnav ji, who is heading Ministry of Railways, Communications and Electronics and Information Technology, and respected Shri Devu Singh ji Chauhan, Minister of State for Communications. Traditionally, Department of Posts, as the world's largest postal network, has been at the forefront of financial inclusion by offering post office savings schemes, money orders, postal life insurance throughout the country. To further provide strength to its financial inclusion efforts and leverage the rapid innovations happening in the financial ecosystem in India, the government established India Post Payment Bank within the fold of Department of Post. The bank leverages the vast network of more than 150,000 post offices and around 2 lakh postmen and Gramin Dak Sevaks from the rural area, acting as certified doorstep banking service providers in every district, town and village of the country to serve its customers, particularly the underrepresented. The department has already tapped into banking technology and regulatory platform to bring various innovations through simple use of technology, thereby becoming a large platform for offering doorstep banking services and other citizen-centric services. In the process, the Department of Posts, along with the Payment Bank, has been able to impart financial literacy in the country through its postmen and Gramin Dak Sevaks, riding on Digital India initiative. The trust and emotional connect established by Department of Posts over more than 150 years has helped to reach seamlessly across the country. By leveraging IPPB platform and rapidly building of its own workforce, Department is trying to address the key challenges of last mile financial inclusion by overcoming the traditional barriers to accessibility, affordability, digital adaptation, and financial literacy. With the advent of IPPB, the trusted postman has now become a banker to millions of unbanked and underbanked citizens. The combination of digital technology and physical infrastructure and human resource is a strong force to reckon the economic growth for the economic growth of the country, and that's what the department was privileged to showcase in terms of a tableau on the previous Republic Day under the theme song खोल के दरवाज़ा देखो आया आपका डाकिया, and which received great appreciation from all over. Today's initiative under the guidance of Honorable Minister, like Fincluvation, and build upon various innovations that has happened over the last few years and will provide a platform to bring the best solutions for any new products, services that the department and the bank wants to provide to the nation, especially the rural population, involving fresh ideas. We hope that the initiative shall not just be an opportunity for the startups to deploy their solutions, but it shall also provide them an opportunity to be a part of the journey in a partnership model and thus help us to scale up our services to match global standards. I welcome you all once again on this important occasion. Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद सर। अब तक हम ये समझ चुके होंगे कि फिनक्लुवेशन आखिर है क्या। फिनक्लुवेशन यानी फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन और इनोवेशन का समावेश। It is time for launch of a small Fincluvation Genesis film, which I'm sure will help all of us to understand Fincluvation better and enlighten us as to how this collaboration can cater to the diversified banking needs of the people in every nook and corner of the country. I request Honorable Minister of State for Communications, Shri Devu Singh Chauhan ji, to please do the honors. A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
India is a country giant in size and diverse in population. And these diverse people have varied banking needs. For the people in the city, digital banking is their way of life. But for the ones in faraway lands, they still face the brunt of digital divide, leading to financial exclusion and inaccessible digital financial services. They need solutions tailor-made for their needs. But financial institutions and fintechs are unable to fully serve these customers due to marginal cost of acquisition and services. With the nationwide rollout of India Post Payments Bank by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, its robust technology platform, combined with strengths of a large and trusted pan-India last-mile postal network of Department of Posts, can be strategically leveraged by fintechs to build intuitive and tailored financial products in an affordable, convenient and customer-led manner. To take the promise of a better tomorrow for every citizen ahead, Department of Posts and India Post Payments Bank brings Fincluvation, a joint initiative to collaborate with fintech startups to co-create disruptive and innovative solutions for financial inclusion. Such collaborations benefit building of business development models based on strengths of large distribution with technology solutions, leading to quick go-to-market models with interfaces that are both customer-friendly and sustainable. The potential market size to reach is 500 million customers. For fintechs, Fincluvation brings the opportunity to add scale by riding upon the world's largest postal network along with a first-mover advantage. They will receive mentorship from experts and undergo a commercial proof of concept leading to increased revenue and market valuation. It is important to choose the right partners with the right capability and strength. Fincluvation works on the principles of screening, assessment and review, and aims to tackle multiple challenges on an ongoing basis that will bring a long-term solution to some of the most difficult hurdles faced by a common man in India. Come, be a part of something monumental and craft history at Fincluvation, Innovation for Financial Inclusion, an initiative by Department of Posts and India Post Payments Bank.
निवेदन करना चाहूँगी माननीय मंत्री महोदय श्री देवू सिंह चौहान जी से कि वे आज के इस सभा को संबोधित करें। प्लीज।
आज के इस कार्यक्रम के अध्यक्ष, हम सबके मार्गदर्शक, भारत सरकार के रेल, कम्युनिकेशन और आईटी के मिनिस्टर आदरणीय अश्विनी वैष्णव जी, पोस्टल विभाग के सेक्रेटरी विनीत जी, आईपीपीबी के सीईओ वेंकटरामू जी, डीडीजी आलोक शर्मा जी, मेरे सन्मुख उपस्थित डिपार्टमेंट के सभी अधिकारी और जिनके लिए और आज के कार्यक्रम के केंद्र बिंदु ये कार्यक्रम हो रहा है, वे सब स्टार्टअप साथियों, मुझे ऐसा लगता है क्योंकि मैं कल ही देर रात दंतेवाड़ा का प्रवास करके आया हूँ। तो एक दूर दराज का क्षेत्र रहा है, छत्तीसगढ़ का नक्सली प्रभावित क्षेत्र रहा है। लेकिन मेरे ये प्रवास के दौरान मैंने देखा है कि वहाँ की महिलाएं, वहाँ के युवा, अगर उनके हाथ में टेक्नोलॉजी का साधन दिया जाए तो उनके जीवन में बहुत बड़ा परिवर्तन आ सकता है। हम सब ये जानते हैं कि सोशियो इकोनॉमिक चेंज में अगर सबसे अति महत्व का रोल किसी का है तो वो टेक्नोलॉजी का है। और टेक्नोलॉजी के कारण ही पूरे विश्व में जिन जिन देशों ने प्रोग्रेस किया है उन इकोनॉमी में परिवर्तन आया है, उन देशों की इमेज में बदलाव आया है। और भारत जब 75 साल मनाने जा रहा है, मतलब ऑलमोस्ट हम ये आज़ादी का अमृत मनाने जा रहे हैं, अमृत महोत्सव मना रहे हैं, तब आने वाले 25 साल के बाद भारत जब अपना शताब्दी महोत्सव मनाएगा तो ये 25 साल के कालखंड में हम ऐसा क्या करें जिससे ये भारत आने वाले समय में पूरे विश्व में एक नया भारत का निर्माण का संकल्प लेके जो श्रद्धेय प्रधानमंत्री जी काम कर रहे हैं, उन संकल्प के साथ हम ऐसा क्या करें। विशेष तौर पे स्टार्टअप्स के और स्टार्टअप के साथियों को ये निवेदन कर रहा हूँ कि आप कैसा भारत चाहते हैं, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी में बहुत क्षमता है। टेक्नोलॉजी में ऐसी क्षमता है, यूएस, जर्मनी, यूरोप, ये सारे कंट्रीज़ टेक्नोलॉजी के कारण ही उनकी इकोनॉमी में परिवर्तन आया है। और भारत जब 5 ट्रिलियन इकोनॉमी की बात करता है तो टेक्नोलॉजी का उनमें बहुत बड़ा रोल होता है। और टेक्नोलॉजी का रोल के कारण ही छोटे होते हैं स्टार्टअप। शुरू में तो स्टार्टअप बहुत छोटे होते हैं लेकिन उनके सपने बड़े होते हैं। और हमारे सामने जो बैठे हैं वो सारे स्टार्टअप के सपने बहुत बड़े हैं, ये मुझे भरोसा है। हम सब ये जानते हैं क्योंकि देखिए गूगल जब कैलिफोर्निया में शुरू हुआ होगा या इंफोसिस बेंगलोर जैसे सिटी में शुरू हुआ होगा, आज इन शहरों की इकोनॉमी में सबसे बड़ा अगर बदलाव का रोल है, या अलीबाबा ने चाइना में शुरू किया होगा, तो ये स्टार्टअप के रोल्स रहे। तो ये स्टार्टअप्स का रोल ऐसा होना चाहिए जो सोशियो इकोनॉमी चेंज करके गरीबी उन्मूलन में उनका क्या प्रदान रहेगा। क्योंकि मैं ये मानता हूँ फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूसिव और पॉवर्टी एलिमिनेशन एक दूसरे के साथ जुड़े हैं, दोनों एक दूसरे के साथ को रिलेटेड हैं। और आज का ये जो प्रोग्राम है, श्रद्धेय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने 2015 में स्टार्टअप्स को हेल्प करने के लिए स्टार्टअप्स इंडिया, डिजिटल इंडिया, ये सब कार्यक्रम आप सबके लिए किया है। देश में जो टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज़ करके देश में जो बाकी लोगों का जो जीवन स्तर में बदलाव करने का जो साधन है उनमें आप इनोवेशन करिए। आप अपने इनोवेशन से उन गरीब के जीवन में क्या परिवर्तन ला सकते हैं, इसके लिए सरकार आपको कैपिटल भी करेंगी, आपको कस्टमर भी देगी। आज पोस्ट जो आपके साथ आईपीपी भी बैठा है, पोस्ट जैसे हमने अभी देखा है 1 लाख 1.5 लाख से ज़्यादा ग्रामीण पोस्ट बैंक है और 1,20,000 से ज़्यादा ग्रामीण डाक सेवकों के पास वो हमारा जो हैंड होल्डिंग मशीन है, बायोमेट्रिक मशीन है, आज उनके पास है। और 1,20,000 वो ग्रामीण डाक सेवक के पास स्मार्टफोन है। तो इतना बड़ा मार्केट है, आपको कहीं नहीं जाना है। आपको कैपिटल देने के लिए सरकार तैयार है, आपको गाइडेंस देने के लिए तैयार है, आपको बस अपना इनोवेशन लेकर आना है। और ऐसा इनोवेशन जो आपको जीवन में ऐसा संतोष देने वाला है जिसके भारत के बदलाव में अगर किसी ने सबसे ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूट किया है तो आप जैसे स्टार्टअप करने वाले हैं। ऐसे स्टार्टअप आप लेकर आए जिससे करोड़ों लोगों का जीवन में परिवर्तन आए। हम इतने बिलियन लोग हैं, हमारे पास आज भी छोटे छोटे देश की तरह हमारी जो मिडिल क्लास है, अपर क्लास है, इससे ज़्यादा बहुत तख्ता ऐसा है जिसके पास आज टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं पहुंचा है, जिसके पास आज डीबीटी कर रहे हैं। लेकिन मैंने कल परसों 2 दिन का मेरा वो प्रवास में मैंने देखा है कि वहाँ प्रधानमंत्री किसान सम्मान निधि नहीं पहुँचता है, वहाँ मनरेगा का पैसा नहीं पहुँचता है, वहाँ डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफ़र का जो पैसा सीधा बेनिफिशरी के पास पहुँचना चाहिए वो नहीं पहुँचता है। तो इसका सॉल्यूशन लेकर आप आइए। और इसी सॉल्यूशन लेकर आने के लिए ही ये प्लेटफॉर्म बना है फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन का। ये सबसे बड़ा प्रोग्राम मैं ऐसा समझता हूं कि देश के हित में आप लोग अपना इनोवेशन करके आएंगे तो भारत सरकार आदरणीय हमारे जो मंत्री जी हैं वो हमेशा कहते हैं कि देश के युवाओं में बहुत क्षमता रही है। मैं इस देश के युवा की क्षमता को, उनके नवाचार को मदद करने के लिए आया हूं और क्यों ना हम साथ में मिलकर ऐसा नवाचार करें जिससे देश के करोड़ों करोड़ों लोगों के जीवन में परिवर्तन आए। और इसी प्लेटफॉर्म के साथ, यही प्लेटफॉर्म का मदद लेकर आप आगे बढ़े और देश को भी आगे ले जाए, यही शुभकामना के साथ मेरी वाणी को विराम करता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद महोदय। आज से लगभग 4 वर्ष पूर्व दिनांक 1 सितंबर 2018 को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी द्वारा 23 अंचलों, 650 शाखाओं तथा 3200 डाकघरों में इंडिया पोस्ट पेमेंट्स बैंक का शुभारंभ किया गया था। गुजरे लगभग 4 वर्षों में बैंक के समक्ष अनेकों चुनौतियां आईं। हमने न सिर्फ इन चुनौतियों का डटकर सामना किया बल्कि बहुत से नए कीर्तिमान भी स्थापित किए और इसके लिए डाक विभाग एवं इंडिया पोस्ट पेमेंट्स बैंक के वे सभी अधिकारी और साथी बधाई के पात्र हैं जिन्होंने आपका बैंक आपके द्वार को एक संकल्प की तरह ग्रहण किया और देश की बैंकिंग प्रणाली को परिवर्तित कर दिखाया। बीते कुछ सालों में भारत फिनटेक सेक्टर के बड़े बाजार के रूप में उभरा है। बात बिजनेस ग्रोथ की हो या एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन की, फिनटेक सेक्टर स्टार्टअप्स तेज़ी से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। वित्तीय कार्यों में प्रौद्योगिकी के इस्तेमाल को ही फिनटेक कहा जाता है। बिजनेस से लेकर अन्य गतिविधियों के डिजिटल होने के कारण ऑनलाइन फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज की स्वीकार्यता काफ़ी बढ़ गई है। ऐसे में फिनटेक सेक्टर ने कारोबार करने के तरीके, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज एवं पेमेंट स्पेस को बदल कर रख दिया है। क्योंकि भारत तेज़ी से डिजिटल इकोनॉमी की ओर बढ़ रहा है, ऐसे में उम्मीद की जा रही है कि फिनटेक भारतीय बैंकिंग और भुगतान प्रणाली यानी पेमेंट सिस्टम के लिए आगे का रास्ता है। फिनटेक भारत की वित्तीय प्रणाली में पारदर्शिता यानी ट्रांसपेरेंसी लाने के साथ ही वित्तीय समावेशन यानी फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन के लक्ष्यों को प्राप्त करने में अति मददगार हो सकता है। इन उम्मीदों के साथ आइए इस कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हैं। Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to request Honorable Minister of Railways, Communication and Electronics and Information Technology, Shri Ashwini Vaishnav ji, to please unveil the logo and website of Financial Fincluvation. We are unveiling the logo and website. तालियों की गड़गड़ाहट चलती रहनी चाहिए। धन्यवाद आप सभी का। सर, आपसे अनुरोध करूंगी कि कृपया इस सभा को संबोधित करें।
मैं भाषण नहीं दूंगा। आप में से कितने लोग 90s में पैदा हुए? देखिए 90s में, 90s 85 से 90 अच्छी खासी संख्या है। 2000s में कब होंगे? शायद ही कोई होंगे। इंडिया में इंटरनेट कब आया था? कौन बताएगा? सबसे पहले इंटरनेट किसी ने कब यूज़ किया होगा? थोड़े से मेरी एज ग्रुप वाले लोगों में से बताएं कोई। 95 करेक्ट, 94, 91, 92 आईटी कानपुर। आईटी क्यों? ठीक है, समझ गया मैं। सबसे पहले आईआईटी बॉम्बे में और आईआईटी कानपुर में और आईआईटी मद्रास में 3-4 जगह यूज़ किया था। कहाँ से हो आप? आईआईटी खड़गपुर। हाँ, तो वो केजीपी सुंडी। तो मेरे मंच पे बैठे सामान्य MOS साहब श्री देवू सिंह जी, सेक्रेटरी पोस्ट, ऑल द ऑफिसर्स, माफ़ कीजिए मैं थोड़ा सा इनफॉर्मल बातचीत करने के मन से आया था यहाँ, भाषण देने का कोई इरादा नहीं था। तो हम लोग आज जिस ग्रुप के साथ बात कर रहे हैं वो ग्रुप बेसिकली ऐसा ग्रुप है जो इंटरनेट के साथ पैदा हुआ, जन्म के साथ ही इंटरनेट आया। अच्छा ये बताओ, सबसे पहले स्मार्टफोन कौन से साल में देखा आप लोगों ने? 95 ना, 95 में स्मार्टफोन कहाँ था? हम्म, 2005, 2008, हाँ थोड़ा मतलब पॉपुलर होने पहले नोकिया का एक फीचर फ़ोन, थोड़ा डबल स्क्रीन खुलने वाला, फिर बाद में इस तरह का फ्लैप वाला, फिर बाद में एक आया था नोकिया का जो ऊपर ऐसे खुलता था, राइट? उसमें बाकायदा पूरा का पूरा QWERTY कीबोर्ड था, कम्युनिकेटर, करेक्ट करेक्ट। मेरा तो गोवा पोर्ट में काम करता था, पानी में गिर गया बोट में चलते चलते, आज तक दुख है उसका। तो कम्युनिकेटर का सबसे पहले वो स्मार्टफोन, मेरे ख्याल से रियल स्मार्टफोन वाज द कम्युनिकेटर, नोकिया कम्युनिकेटर, दैट वाज द रियल स्मार्टफोन, एंड दैट वाज प्रोबेबली समवेयर 2005 2004, दैट वाज द टाइम फ्रेम। तो जो लोग उसके बाद में जन्म लिए वो स्मार्टफोन के साथ पैदा हुए। सबसे पहला स्मार्ट टीवी कब देखा? स्मार्ट टीवी, एंड्रॉयड टीवी 12-13, हाँ करीब करीब उसी वक्त आया। उससे पहले तो स्मार्ट टीवी वाज नॉट रियली अ कॉन्सेप्ट, इट वाज मोर लाइक ओके वी आर एडिंग सम फीचर्स। सो सी द रैपिडिटी ऑफ द चेंज। Imagine when, let's say, if you look at the time frame of 60s to 80s, if somebody understood a technology, somebody learned a technology, that person would think that fine, I have understood something for life now. I can build a career on this. Somebody would have learned Pascal at that point of time, or C at that point of time, and C and C++ at that point of time, would think that I am the king. I can, throughout my career, I can continue with this knowledge. Then came Java, Python, Apache, so many different ways of looking at software, so many new technologies. The whole technology cycle, which was this wide, got compressed to this. Life cycle of technology was 15-20 years. That got reduced to anywhere between 5 to 10 years. Then things changed. Machine learning started taking roots. When we were at IIT, we would have like one prof teaching us neural networks, and we'll like sleep in that. That's the best lecture to sleep. That's the best class to sleep. Neural network, kahan? Bahut dur hai. Today it's a reality. Then things changed so fast. Convergence hua, computing power shot like this. Cost of communication shot like this. On the one hand, computing was growing like this, cost of communication was growing like this, the communication speed was growing like this, and the cost of sensors was coming like this. All these things combined together, the cost of electronics was going down like this. All these things combined together, and today we are at a stage in our society, in our humanity, where the difference between machines and human beings is converging, and it's dangerous. It's great on one hand, it's dangerous on the other hand. Great if we apply all this to the good of the society, for the benefit of the society. Bad if somebody wants to misuse it for some destructive force. So that's the juncture at which we are today as we stand. My request to all the youngsters, to the generation which is going to run this country for the next 30, 40, 50 years, which are going to be very different from the past 30, 40, 50 years, is keep the gravity, understand the gravity of the situation, gravity of the convergence of humanity and technology, understand the societal changes, and make sure that as you lead this nation into a new territory, keep the people at the bottom of the pyramid at your mind, at your goal, at your eyesight, in all your programs. Because they are the ones who will need your attention most. The people who are left out by this digital race, people who are left out by the financial growth, people who are left out of the technological changes, people who are left out of the urban improvement that we are seeing, उन लोगों के बारे में हमेशा मन में रखना जो कि इस दौड़ में आज पीछे हैं, जो कि समाज के आज भी अंतिम छोर पे बैठे हैं, जो कि आज भी अंतिम पायदान पे बैठे हैं, उनका ध्यान रखना। इसी थॉट प्रोसेस से आज का प्रोग्राम बना। आई गेव अ बिट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट टू दिस एंटायर थिंग। इसी थॉट प्रोसेस से आज का ये प्रोग्राम बना। पोस्ट ऑफिस एक ऐसा इंस्टीट्यूशन है देश का, गो एनीवेयर, नॉर्थ, साउथ, ईस्ट, वेस्ट, कच्छ से कोहिमा तक, कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी तक, हर जगह एक ट्रस्ट है, एक इनहेरेंट ट्रस्ट है इन द होल पोस्टल इंस्टीट्यूशन. And the officers of postal department are some of the best officers I have seen, some of the fantastic officers I have seen. Committed, dynamic, really committed, connected with the grassroots. ऐसे organization को if we can transform, this can be a great way to reach out to the last person in the society, which is what the government's aim is, which is what our main thought process is. That's the thought process which today brings. How many startups are there in this room? 30, 40, 50 होंगे उस तरफ, ऊपर ना, ऊपर कोई नहीं है, इस तरफ. Okay, so maybe 30, 40, 50. Okay, so 30, 40, 50 startups. Each of you are like a multiplier, kinetic multiplier, kinetic energy, right? उसका multiplier हो आप. Accelerator, ब्रेक के ऊपर नहीं, accelerator के ऊपर पाँव लगाने वाले हो आप. If you combine your force and energy and thought process with the strength of the post office which is there, the results can be phenomenal. The results can be phenomenal. So that's why we thought, with the goal of reaching to the last person in the society, West में all the big good newspapers and big, they'll all call it inclusive development, we call it Antyodaya. Antyodaya is a philosophy with which we were born as a party, as a thought process. We believe in Antyodaya as our primary philosophy. Antyodaya is जो लास्ट में, जो बॉटम ऑफ द पिरामिड में, जो समाज के अंतिम छोर में, उनकी सेवा करना, उनकी लाइफ में एक डेवलपमेंट लाना, उनकी लाइफ में एक चेंज लाना, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन लाना. Imagine the results that we can achieve with this thought process. Now, is this thought process only in postal? No. This thought process is there in every wing of the government today. When Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji set out on the journey of Startup India, people were criticizing, people were saying, क्या है ये Startup India? Today, if we put our hands on our hearts, we know that today Indian startup ecosystem is respected all over the world. We are today among the top 3 startup ecosystems in the world. Where we were 10 years back, one startup would come, somebody would be challenging to, people would be like struggling to find funds, struggling to find the right mentors, struggling to find the ecosystem, struggling to find the the support system. Today there is a properly calibrated, properly recognized, properly developed ecosystem in the country for startups. Defense, I'll give 3 examples. Defense, n number of new products and solutions have come out of the collaboration between the Ministry of Defense and the startups. आप में से कोई है जिसने डिफेंस में काम किया? एक. कैसा रहा आपका? 2, 3. कैसा रहा आपका एक्सपीरियंस एज अ स्टार्टअप? He is saying thumbs up. Right? The department, the ministry was open-minded, willing to go all along, right? BSF के साथ किसी ने काम किया यहाँ पे? पुलिस फोर्स. ओके. ड्रोन्स में किसी ने काम किया? ये फिर अलग तरह का, ये शायद फाइनेंशियल फोकस्ड है ये ग्रुप. एक सेक्टर में wherever the government has with an open mind partnered with the startups, the results have been phenomenal. Results have been amazing. BSF के साथ 2-3 startups ने ऐसा काम किया, if a drone invasion happens, they can predict it. They can use the radar sensing technologies and reasonably well in advance predict if something happens on the border which can be a threat to the country. So that kind of solutions are coming. In the same hall, I remember one student from Assam made a presentation on using artificial intelligence to keep people awake in the classroom. मैंने कहा यार मुझे पहले पता होता मेरी लाइफ चेंज हो जाती, मुझे तो क्लास में नींद आती थी हमेशा. तो इस तरह का, I mean imagine, and I still cannot pronounce the full name of that algorithm. Baap re baap, psychoanalysis, some very difficult. So that's the kind of energy, that's the kind of new applications which are coming from the youth. So इसी mindset के साथ रेलवे में, again, see how the thought process is evolved. This we must understand. I'll take a couple of minutes to explain it very nicely. The thought process evolved today to support the startups in the most vulnerable phase. What is the most vulnerable phase? शानदार आइडिया है, दिमाग की बत्ती जली, बहुत अच्छा आइडिया आया, अपना आइडिया है, खुद को अच्छा हमेशा लगता है. When it goes to the market, starts testing the reality, then oh, ये भी हो सकता है दिक्कत, ये भी हो सकती है, ये भी हो सकती है, ये भी हो सकती है, right? Then things change. Idea to POC to product. This is the most vulnerable phase. Can we support startups during this most vulnerable phase? That's the evolution which has happened over last 4-5 years, 6 years. Earlier the idea was give a prize money, fine, तालियां बज गई, हो गया, ठीक है, नहीं. Now the thought process is, can we help the startup to create a sustainable business model out of that idea? That's a fundamental change which has happened. So my friends, what I want to share with you, that this is a classic example of how our thought process has evolved towards supporting the startups from idea to the business model complete. So जो आप में से इस फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन के चैलेंज में जीतेगा, उसके साथ पोस्ट विल सपोर्ट यू for creating that product. I think there is some financial you have put ना 3 करोड़ तक का support करेंगे आप, ऐसा ना? We'll be supporting up to 3 crore rupees. I understand what startups are because आई हैड अ स्टार्टअप, वो शुरू में तो खाने के पैसे मिल जाए और एक जगह काम करने को मिल जाए तो भी लगता है कि यार कुछ अच्छा है, करना है, मुझे कुछ करके दिखाना है, मुझे कुछ करके दिखाना है, उस जुनून के साथ काम करते हैं ना, राइट? सो इसमें द सपोर्ट इज गोइंग टू बी अप टू 3 करोड़ रुपीज, एंड वंस द प्रोडक्ट डेवलप्स एंड इट कैन बी put into use, then it will be a sustained business model of a revenue share. And we from the government commit to you, if your product is good, आपके product में अगर दम है, तो we will go out and talk to the VC community and say that yes, this is a great product, we stand by it, we support it, हम चट्टान की तरह पीछे खड़े होंगे आपके साथ. Your product must stand the test of reality. That's the thought process. यही thought process रेलवे में, यही thought process डिफेंस में, यही thought process n number of organizations में, यही thought process IT में, cyber security में अभी कुछ products बने, and those products are going to be world leaders. And the same process where we set up a challenge, people come out, young minds bring their energy to it, test of reality, some fail, some succeed. That's how it evolves. So I wish you great luck. कितने लोग participate करने वाले हैं? देखें, 1 2 3 4 5 10 15 20, मैं भी हाथ खड़ा कर लेता हूँ. ऑनलाइन वाले कैसे करेंगे? अपने उस पर थम्स अप करना यूट्यूब पे, जो पार्टिसिपेट करने वाले हैं, लाइक देना एक, राइट? सो आई विश यू ग्रेट लक. बहुत अच्छा इससे प्रोडक्ट निकलना चाहिए. वी शुड कम आउट विद अ वंडरफुल प्रोडक्ट विच कैन बी टेकन टू द वर्ल्ड. डोंट थिंक स्मॉल, थिंक दैट द होल वर्ल्ड इज योर कैनवस. And I am addressing the entire online community, which is every startup who's watching this. I request you, think of the entire world as your canvas. Your products today developed in India, which can work in our challenges, will win the world. Today, I'm sure UPI, आप सब जानते हो, even the US Fed has said that this kind of payment system even we don't have. That's the power of our brains. So use it to the maximum possible. Win, और जो जीतेगा okay. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for all your motivation. I'm sure we all are in high spirits now. And as you rightly said, we are hopeful that Fincluvation will take banking to the last mile. Not only it will take, we are hopeful that it will be very effective and a very improvised way and fasten the process and help in financial inclusion. Once, 3 people were laying bricks. A passersby asked them, what were they doing? The first one replied, don't you see, I'm making a living. The second one said, don't you see, I'm laying bricks. The third one said, I'm building a beautiful monument. Here were 3 people doing the same thing who had totally different perspectives on what they were doing. They had 3 different attitudes about their work. Excellence comes when a performer takes pride in doing his best. Amongst us, we have various representatives online as well as who are present here physically with us. I would like to welcome all the representatives from various startups. Taking the day forward, I request Honorable Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnav ji to interact and address the questions raised by few startup representatives present amongst us. The participants who would like to raise a query can raise their hand and we'll be providing mic to them. Sure.
पूरी लाइफ एग्जाम देते देते निकल गई भाई एक और एग्जाम आज ओ वो जो आसाम के बच्चे ने बनाया था उसका नाम था प्रियम पगबंध क्लास 9 जोरहट आसाम और उसका एल्गोरिदम का नाम था कॉन्वोल्यूशनल न्यूरल नेटवर्क एल्गोरिदम ऑन फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन एंड रिकॉग्निशन अब बताओ
इसकी स्पेलिंग मत पूछना
Thank God.
Sir, firstly, it's an honor. Just wanted to check, how will Fincluvation help post office customers?
Please say that again.
How will Fincluvation help India post office customers?
ये planted question है
नहीं sir.
नहीं देखो basically our thought process is like this. बैठो ना. Thought process is like this. We the post office network has a reach to almost 1,75,000 villages. Now this is a great mode, a trusted mode of reaching out to the poor, reaching out to the person living in the village. जो हमारी भाषा में हम कहते हैं दलित, वंचित, आदिवासी समाज, ऐसा समाज जो कि हम सबसे आज भी एक ऐसी परिस्थिति में जो हम सबसे जो हमारे समकक्ष आने के लिए आज भी स्ट्रगल कर रहा है. So how do we reach out to that? So the thought process here is the financial inclusion and innovation, which is in a very difficult word, or Fincluvation. I would wish we had given a simpler name to it, but we have given this name. So the idea is that it should accelerate, transform, use that strength and come out with a solution which is able to reach to the poorest of the poor, the person in the last rung of the society. That's the thought process. ये तो easy question था. Tough वाला कोई पूछना. Yes, that's it. We have one question here. Excellent voice.
So my question is, we work primarily with other organizations as well, including SCPI, SEBI, NISM, primarily to drive financial literacy amongst the rural audiences. So I wanted to explore, will Fincluvation also have an opportunity to explore amongst other organizations within the ecosystem to liberate the people at the lower rung of society in order to build a sustainable financial literacy ecosystem along with the payment solutions and those kinds of things. So any thoughts on that?
Excellent question, and in fact that's it's a very important question. See, the various financial literacy programs that we have, are they dovetailed into this? Probably not a clear yes, but can we make an effort to do that? Yes, a clear yes. We must make an effort to dovetail sets up. My request to you would be, there are many financial literacy programs which are there, various ministries. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Development is doing a great program called Swanidhi. The Finance Ministry has programs, RBI has programs, the mighty IT Ministry has fintech oriented program. So please try to see whether you can dovetail some of that into this program or dovetail this program with others. Wherever 1 plus 1 can become 11, we should try and make it.
No, definitely, sir,
Yeah.
because when it comes to creating a sandbox, when there's synergies between organizations, it helps to create better products.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for taking that.
Next question.
Thank you, sir. And let me compliment the government in taking such concrete action, because I've just been attending yesterday of a program of RBI Innovation Cell, which is on Swarnari, inclusion of women in financial inclusion. And here you are, India Post. And my question is that, for startups who want to give financial leverage to the excluded, what's most important is to build trust. While we can build trust with your brand, but we need to also build trust with performance. And performance is something which actually lacks in most of the financial institutions, because of which people don't use that financial institution. That's the only reason why a poor person doesn't go to bank. That bank lacks performance. And what is performance? Performance is all about real time. So here's my question. Will India Post be opening up their API banking in a manner that we are able to create accounts real time for the customers, with whatever due diligence there is in terms of the KYCs, which are stipulated by Reserve Bank of India, and be able to provide real-time deposit, because it's basically a savings bank, deposit information and information on the status of their bank account, which is available to a customer anywhere through, of course, interface. That interface could be your application. That interface could be any startup application, for which that application of startup is primarily being used for some value addition that the startup is creating. And that's the innovation that the startup is creating. But the confidence it is generating is through the performance that the application delivers through API banking. API banking is the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can take this question. So, in fact, India Post Payment Bank main initiative through this Fincluvation is open API. The open banking concept is part of Fincluvation. And whoever wants to create even the digital version of the banking, that would get included. And all kinds of API, whether it is opening of bank account or posting of various transactions, self-service transactions, and getting various other informations. And not only that, we are trying to create it like a universal service platform where even third-party services can also be ported.
So I'll give 3 more examples to give you more trust in the question that has been answered. Yes, Postal Bank is clearly committed to provide you open API, absolutely equal platform to everybody, no discrimination of any particular startup. Same philosophy has been used in UPI, same philosophy has been used in the, currently we are implementing the National Digital Health Stack, exactly same philosophy. We build the public platform which has the strength of the government behind it, and you build the APIs, you build the apps which are consumer facing, customer facing, public facing, people facing, and leverage the benefits of the two in building the final solution. So that's the thought process. Everywhere we are going to use that same thought process. Yeah? Where? Okay, we'll make a rule. The youngest person will get the opportunity to ask the question first. So he's younger. He's looking younger.
Good morning, sir. I am Avinash from Gulak, and my question would be, being a startup, what exactly are your expectations from the startup community of Fincluvation? So what exactly India Post is expecting from us?
Okay, so we are expecting a solution which will help us reach out to the poorest of the poor, period. Short answer. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, thank you for the opportunity, and it's been an honor to actually listen to all the motivation and the thought processes with which you have brought out, the idea of the startup actually promoting financial inclusion. So, basically, my question, it's a very simple thing, that what is exactly, the larger scale at which we see the startups can be supported by an institution like IPPB and India Post. So, such huge scale, and how can this be leveraged so that the startups become actually the global competitors and actually land up as the unicorns? So that is the question actually.
आपका financial transaction का volume क्या अभी?
Sir, we do almost 3 million transactions every day.
3
million transactions.
3 million, 30 lakh.
Yeah, and value worth around 600 crores.
IPPB will put its 3 million transactions, 1.75, almost 1.5 lakh presence in the country, its trust, its brand value, and its entire network available to you so that you can be the unicorn. The challenge, we must understand that the challenge of delivering services to the last person in the society is a phenomenally, it's a, if we speak the tech language, it's a different, an order kind of difficult problem, right? It's a very difficult problem. To solve it, the effort that is required is more. That's why we want to put this entire force behind you. This is the tailwind with you. Take it. If you win here, I'm sure there's nothing that can stop you from winning in the world. Yeah. Last में वहाँ पे पीछे. Just behind. Okay. Either of you.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir, and it's a really honor to be part of the community over here. Sir, really appreciate your thoughts. And the biggest challenge, see, everybody wants to create for the entire India lower masses. The real challenge arises in the fact that the customer acquisition cost to acquire that customer who we are not even sure will add so much lifetime value to the product is the real challenge. Just want to understand how IPPB will actually foster, I mean, will it be a co-branded efforts, how we can reduce that customer acquisition cost? And
excellent question. Actually a very good question. The cost of acquiring customer will significantly reduce for you because IPPB is behind you. One, the network is entire trust network is already there. Two, the handset which is available in the entire network is at your disposal. Three, the entire government schemes which are targeted, which are basically providing the relief and the welfare schemes to the poorest of the poor, those are already in place. How many schemes? 20?
25 schemes.
25 schemes are already working, right? कोई नाम दो?
PMJJBY, sir.
Acronyms नहीं भाई.
निक्षय पोषण.
पोषण?
निक्षय पोषण है सर.
हाँ. माइक लेके बताओ 4-5 स्कीम्स के बारे में.
जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना है सर. PM जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना है. निक्षय पोषण है. Then various other DBT schemes are also there.
सिर्फ acronym. पूरा ढंग से बोलो ना जो आपकी भाषा. Right? So all those customers will be available to you. To get the new customers, cost sharing, basically IPPB should take the cost of acquisition.
Sir, currently the cost is nothing because we are using a shared network. Already there is a network.
Correct.
There is a branch, there is a person, there is a micro ATM which is available. Yes. So it's virtually nil.
So for you, you don't have to invest in that cost. If you give revenue, they will co-brand.
Yeah. Co-branding can definitely be done subject to regulatory approvals.
It's being honored to be here, sir, and given an opportunity to ask a question. My name is Ashish Hans. I represent FSS Technology. You gave a very nice example of in US for the UPI solution. And one thing more, actually, like a DigiLocker is also a societal platform, which recently, Apple has tied up in the California for, and that solution is being available in India, which has not been there. So that was,
Excellent.
Have a very few people in US. At the beginning of this presentation, I saw in the slide it was written as a microfinance and credit also. So currently I understand that the payment bank is not into the credit thing basically for the loans and all that. So his IPP is also looking these solution in the microcredit and this thing also.
So there is a whole set of regulatory framework behind it. The thought process is to come up with a solution which fits into that regulatory setup and is still able to provide a solution to the poorest of the poor. We are in parallel talking to the Ministry of Finance and the RBI, and depending upon what solution finally comes out, that is the path we will take. Do we want to become a regular bank? No. We don't want to become a regular bank the way any other bank is. Do we want to use this network to provide a financial solution to the people? Yes, that's the aim. Your role comes in to bridge that technology gap use this network, come with your technology. Together we go to the regulator for taking the final approvals.
Yeah, thanks for that answer. And the second question is, are we also looking, apart from the solution, as a long-term creating a societal platform as a public platform?
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. And once again, I would like to share this thought process with all of you. Healthcare, agriculture, logistics, payments, everywhere the thought process is to build a public platform, open it up to the energy of the startups, open it up to the energy of the entrepreneurs. You use that platform to build solutions and leverage together these two big powerful things, powerful forces can be leveraged as vectors, no? Instead of two different directions, both of us are putting our force in the same direction, and we multiply the solution. We reach out to the people at the bottom of the pyramid faster. Yeah. Done? Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the much interactive session. I think the pleasant sound of the applause speaks for itself. Thank you. Heading to the next segment, it's time to have an interaction with the press and media representatives present amongst us. I now invite Shri Rajiv Jainji, ADG, PIB, to kindly moderate the session. Sir, please.
यहाँ पर उपस्थित सभी मीडिया के साथियों का हार्दिक स्वागत, अभिनंदन। आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है कि अपना सवाल पूछने से पहले अपना नाम बता दें और किस जगह, किस संस्था से काम करते हैं जहाँ पर वो अनाउंस कर दें। तो वी कैन स्टार्ट द क्वेश्चंस नाउ। अपना हाथ उठा दीजिए, हाँ प्लीज़, आप वहाँ से लेफ्ट साइड से बताइए। उनको माइक दे दीजिए प्लीज़ एक।
नमस्कार सर, मेरा नाम रईसुद्दीन रिहान, ऑल इंडिया रेडियो न्यूज़ सर्विसेज। सर, मेरा सवाल जो है फिनक्लूजन के सुरक्षा से संबंधित है, खास तौर से दो तरह से। आज के समय में सोशल फ्रॉड, साइबर फ्रॉड के केसेस इतने सारे बढ़ रहे हैं, तो उसको लेके ये फिनक्लूजन किस तरह से, आईटी आप मंत्री हैं और इसको जब हम लॉन्च कर रहे हैं तो सुरक्षा की दृष्टि से कितना सेफ है। दूसरा मेरा सवाल, हमारे गांव का जो पोस्टमैन है जो अभी घर घर पैसे लेके जाएगा, तो उसकी सुरक्षा से संबंधित है कि लोकल एरिया के अंदर जब वो जाएगा तो उसकी जान को कोई नुकसान नहीं पहुंचेगा। इसको लेके क्या आपने कुछ मैकेनिज्म इस्टेब्लिश किया है या नहीं? थैंक यू।
बहुत ही क्लियर है, राइट फ्रॉम डे वन द प्रोडक्ट हैज़ टू बी डेवलप्ड, द सॉल्यूशन हैज़ टू बी डेवलप्ड कीपिंग सिक्योरिटी फर्स्ट इन माइंड, राइट? साइबर सिक्योरिटी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, फ्रॉड के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, एंड दैट्स हाउ द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द स्टार्टअप्स टेक्नोलॉजी and the trust of postal network has to be leveraged together. One, अभी तक जो गांव का experience है, and I've spoken to people in very far-flung areas, माननीय देवू सिंह जी भाई साहब ने भी, he has also spoken to people in the far-flung areas and he has visited also many. The risk or threat to the postman carrying or using some financial method is not seen, because postman is seen as a community member. Postman is seen as a very trusted member of that village, very trusted person in the household. So that threat is not there, and we are not talking of large sums. We are talking of microfinance here.
और कोई किसी का सवाल मीडिया बंधु का? सर, आई थिंक आपने सभी अपने उसके दौरान इतने आंसर कर दिया आपने, ड्यूरिंग स्टार्टअप्स क्वेश्चंस आल्सो, दैट आई थिंक दे हैव नो क्वेश्चंस। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर।
Thank you, sir. John Maxwell said, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." And I now request our very own leader, Shri J. Venkatramuji, MD, CEO, India Post Payments Bank, to please sum up this wonderful event and propose the vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Honorable Minister of Railways, Communications, Electronics and Information Technology, Sri Ashwini Vaishnav sir. Honorable Minister of State for Communication, Sri Devunshi Chauhan sir. Respected Secretary sir, Sri Vinit Pandeji, and DG sir, Sri Alok Sharma. Friends from startup community, officials from press, and functionaries from Department of Post, and my colleagues from India Post Payment Bank. It's a momentous occasion for us to have you all here gracing the occasion to launch this path-breaking initiative of Fincluvation. Thank you for wonderful support. Technology has changed the way of our lives. It has been evolutionary and revolutionary. Leveraging the evolutionary trend to the benefit of society is one of the key tenets of Fincluvation. Channelizing this abundant technology talent of startups in delivering consumer and citizen-facing platforms can catalyze economic growth. More particularly, this can address customer-centric aspects concerning need-driven products and services, eliminating pain points in our daily lives. The growing uptake of digital consumer applications and services at population scale is a true testimony of the fact that how digital can open up new market avenues. We aim to take this concept of Fincluvation and innovation to the grassroots levels of the society. The last 2 decades witnessed transformation of software from pure service orientation to product orientation. And with Fincluvation, we attempt to create that product experience using the technology prowess of startups. Sir, as you rightly advocate, there is a compelling need to engage startups in the growth of the country and help address the pain points, making us more self-reliant. The enabling environment created so far in terms of policy making by government and regulations has provided a perfect path for startups of the country to convert challenges to opportunities. Ushering of open platform protocols like UPI, account aggregator, Aadhaar-enabled services have truly become potential enablers in transforming fintech sector. Fincluvation is a confluence of sorts where intersection of technology with deeper network of India Post, banking product rails of India Post Payment Bank will help meet the innate demand and necessity of rural markets, establishing a universal service platform. This will in turn help port various services that can be rendered digitally through an integrated approach. We are happy to note that the Buy-in Startup Network shall be able to benefit from this and help us overcome these challenges. Multiple market studies observe that credit is one of the most sought after service in MSME rural market segment, riding on the back of DBT infrastructure, GST, extending credit using alternate data could help meet the growing demand. Data monetization and utilization of alternate data can be key enabling factors to adopt innovation practices in credit delivery. These are some of practices which we want to bring through this initiative of Fincluvation. This spells the beginning of an era of collaboration between public and private enterprises that could build national assets for larger public good and thereby making our country a truly Atmanirbhar Bharat. I take this opportunity to thank one and all who helped in building and conceptualization of this program, bringing it to this stage. Their valuable inputs indeed helped in shaping up the concept into a path-breaking initiative. And I should personally thank Abhishek ji and Ashish for their valuable inputs. And our brainstorming sessions have indeed helped in fine-tuning and enriching the overall concept. Thank you very much, sir. And I must thank Secretary Sir for his encouraging and relentless support as chairman of our board, and the kind of inputs that went into creating this concept were truly immense, sir. And a big thanks to DG Sir, who have always been encouraging and supportive to our new initiatives. And last but not least, a big thanks to our team who contributed immensely in organizing this program and making it a grand launchpad for startups. Once again, thank Sir Ashwini Vaishnav sir and Devunshi Chauhan sir for gracing the occasion and sharing your valuable thoughts. Sir, we extend our firm commitment to realize your vision and the goals that you have set to us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to felicitate our beloved chief guests and shower our love and affection by offering them a small token of remembrance. I request Shri J. Venkatramuji to please present memento to Honorable Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnavji and Honorable Minister Sir Shri Dev Singh Chauhanji. धन्यवाद सर. अंतः अस्ति प्रारंभः. द एंड इज द बिगिनिंग. अंत से ही एक नई शुरुआत होती है. इस कार्यक्रम का समापन आज नए आयामों के द्वार खोलता है. This launch of Fincluvation will surely give us the enabling environment to unlock much greater potentials. I now request our respected MD and CEO, sir, to kindly address the queries from our YouTube viewers. Thank you, sir.
Nicely compared.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I request all of you to please stay back and take your seats. I request all of you to please be seated. I would like to inform all of you that after completion of the last leg of this program, which is answering of the YouTube queries by our respected MD and CEO, sir, we have arranged lunch for everyone. After completion, please proceed for lunch. Thank you. viewers, and our respected MD and CEO, sir, would be replying to these queries.
So these are the questions. Yeah, the first question goes, what all services are expected from startups? I think that's the question. Okay, basically, in this Fincluvation program, startups are expected to either come with their own set of problem statements, which they feel that it's not getting covered through the regular banking services. That could be one model. Plus, the bank can also come up with such problem statements as an ongoing basis, because this is a continuous process. We have not kept any limited timeline for this particular platform. And people can come up with their ideas. And as long as their ideas are marketable, their ideas are implementable in terms of a product, both from a market uptake perspective and as well as from a business viability standpoint. From these two factors, we can consider any kind of services with startups. And the second question is about what is the limit of instant microcredit. I think as far as microcredit is concerned, one point is the India Post Payment Bank as a payment bank cannot offer a credit service. But what we intend to create under this initiative of Fincluvation is to establish a universal service platform where various institutions can collaborate. Like a startup can come up with a technology platform. Ultimately, a lending can happen either through a financial institution like bank or NBFC. So what we're looking at is that we will provide you with a delivery model. As we were explaining, the cost of delivery or the cost of customer acquisition in this case is going to be very, very low, and that's what is going to help. And as far as the credit, microcredit is concerned, I would say it is nano credit. It can go as low as 1,000 rupees, especially for a DBT customers who are getting, say, annually 6,000 to 10,000 rupees. Taking that as a surrogate, if financial institutions want to provide a nano credit of 1,000 to 5,000 rupees, I think that is very much possible, because the cost of credit delivery to the last mile is something which is drastically reduced using our physical network, which is where the advantage is there, both for financial institutions and as well as the startups. And here the third question, what are the prospective customers for this facility? It could be urban customers, it could be rural customers, but yes, urban customers might have multiple options, but for rural customers, the option could be lower. The target segment is quite wide open. There is no limitation as far as that is concerned. Whether startup has to provide generic solutions or have to use the current software being used, that's again left with startup, as long as it meets the security standards as stipulated by regulator, because most of this would involve integration with some of the banking systems and some of the partner systems. Obviously, all of that should pass the regulatory muster in terms of the cyber security. So that's where we'll be able to work with startups using their existing software infrastructure. Apart from IPPB products, what all Department of Post Services we can expect provide solutions? I think this is a very, very relevant and important question. So today we are seeing that bank services, whether it is payments or opening of accounts, the interoperability has kicked in as far as banking services concerned. But whereas the same is not true for postal services. So that is also something which is on the anvil. So over a period of time, once we have complete core banking integration of India Post and this integration with the digital banking ecosystem, even those schemes and services which are currently operated by the department can become interoperable. As we speak, we already have a process of interoperability with IPPB being in place. Like for instance, I can give an example. Somebody having a Sukanya Samriddhi savings account with Department of Posts and want to use, say, banking system for transfer of money electronically, that is very much possible. But all that they need to do is open an account with IPPB. So the customer can digitally transfer money through IPPB account into the postal savings schemes, be it Sukanya Samriddhi account or postal RD or PPF. And of course, POSA. Okay, can you elaborate on the duration of collaboration event? As we said, there is no timeline for this. This is an ongoing event, and anybody can participate, because what we understand and feel is that this cannot be confined to a particular duration or time period. So that's why we've kept it like an ongoing perpetual program, and there is no timeline. Yeah, that's it, Vishwanath. I think these are the questions. Any more? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The play is done. The curtain drops, slow falling to the prompter's bell. A moment yet, the actor stops and looks around to say farewell. It is an irksome word and task, and when he's laughed, he's said his say, he shows as he removes his mask, a face that's anything but joy. This quotation by William Thackeray is apt as we successfully conclude today's launch event of Fincluvation with nothing but joy, satisfaction, and hope for unmatched success that shall follow. इस कार्यक्रम के सफल समापन की घोषणा करते हुए मैं आप सभी से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि कृपया भोजन ग्रहण करने हेतु पधारें। लंच का अरेंजमेंट 2 जगह है, ऑडिटोरियम, फॉयर एंड मैग्नोलिया बेसमेंट. Please have your lunch. Thank you so much.